Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Graves. This series of 3 videos is about how your body works. Your body is a metabolic machine. There are many similarities between your body and that of an automobile. Reviewing and discussing these similarities can help you with your diet. This segment is about the brain, or the control center of our metabolic machine. The body is an actual metabolic machine. It behaves exactly like a machine, and it does what it's programmed to do. Your body has parts for motion, your muscles. Your body has parts to interact with the environment, and sensors to tell you about your energy level, like the gas gauge of a car. The focus of this video is the brain, or the computer guidance system. Your brain processes all the information about your body, your environment, and your energy needs. After processing all the information, it is our brain that tells us if we should eat or not eat. Understanding what drives us to eat can help us and determine our own future. Our brains are wired to release a small bit of rewarding chemical very similar to morphine when we eat. Our brains truly become addicted to food, and it's a powerful addiction. Believe it or not, our brains are also damaged from the obesity. Excess food and fat changes our brains, and our brains become rewired. We no longer recognize a healthy diet and a healthy weight. We become addicted to the worst and most unhealthy types of food. The obesity cycle gets reinforced. As the years go by, the changes due to obesity become more permanent, and it becomes more and more difficult to lose weight. It is possible to reset your brain chemistry to a healthier level. This requires losing weight and maintaining the weight loss for many months. There are many determinants of what, when, and how much we choose to eat. Sensory factors such as palatability, as well as familial and social influences, are also important. We make decisions about food selections based on our health concerns. But perhaps the most significant driving force to whether we eat or stop eating is our sense of hunger and fullness, signals that we receive from our brain's appetite center. Our body is a metabolic machine, and the brain is the control center. It integrates all of these factors, and it ultimately determines how much we lose. It takes all of these signals, puts them together, and then tells us, you are full, or you are hungry, seek out food. Hunger and satiety seem similar, but they're actually two different sensations, and they have two separate control mechanisms. They seem similar to us because they both cause us to seek out food. Hunger is mediated by ghrelin. This is a hormone released into the circulation from the stomach. This hormone sends a signal to the brain that increases our appetite. Circulating ghrelin levels are increased by fasting and fall after a meal. Satiation signals come from hormones of the GI tract. This hormone causes a sensation of feeling full. Deep within the brain is a metabolic control center called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus area of the brain is shown in red. It is at the very center of our brain, just above the core of the brain, called the brainstem. This area of the brain is the part of the brain, the part of the computer that controls your appetite. It takes the signals from the body sensors and from all the other areas of the brain to make you eat or to make you not eat, decisions. As you diet, consider that eating may have become a brain habit that is not associated with the actual physical need for food. We may have trained ourselves into eating to satisfy other needs or desires. The next time you feel hungry, ask yourself, are you really hungry? Or are you feeling bored, sad, anxious, tired, restless, or perhaps frustrated? Be aware of your physical and emotional needs. Understand them, and rather than overeating, choose to satisfy those needs in a healthier and more appropriate way. As diet advice, a successful dieter has to keep the brain in mind. At this point, you may be feeling as if this is a hopeless circumstance. It seems that with all the information and from your personal experience, overeating is almost a foregone conclusion in our lives. I've discussed how our bodies are hardwired to seek out and eat as much food as possible. I have also discussed the brain rewards that we get from eating. We're all familiar with the abundance of food in our society. Perhaps it seems as if overeating and obesity is just human nature. Fortunately for us, we are humans and not animals. We have a uniquely human area in our brain that takes the everything is just a reflex pathway out of it. This area of the brain gives us the ability to regulate our lives. Research scientists have identified an area of the brain that gives us a measure of control over our circumstance. This region of the brain is responsible for a function of the brain that is called free won't. The free won't group of cells in our brain gives us the power to redirect and veto some or even all of the unconscious impulses that are always driving us to act in one way or another. Although dieting and food decisions are very difficult circumstance, we can exercise one of our most human characteristics, free won't. Although it can be a very powerful tool, the free won't nerve signal only lasts for a few seconds. Like many other body functions, free won't can be exercised, and it gets better as it's used. It gives credibility to the adage, try, and try again. You will get better with every repetition. Our lives are filled with lots of choices and decisions. These choices fall mostly into multiple choice, yes and no decisions. These choices are made in the present and from moment to moment. Free won't can help us diet. You can bypass the high-calorie choices and order the grilled chicken and the steamed vegetables instead. Free won't can help us bypass the donuts in the break room and the bread basket at the restaurant. In my personal life, I love visits with my grandchildren. I have a lot of personal difficulty because I enjoy eating their leftovers when I make the meals. Free won't is my choice to do something different. Free won't is our free will to stop an action. So we can think of deliberate action not as free will, but as free won't. We can stop an action initiated by our brain. Seeing conscious choice at work as a veto may be exactly what we need to diet. We can veto our habitual actions if we make the intention to. If you would like to further discuss weight loss strategies, I suggest an appointment with your primary care physician. You and your doctor can work together to design the best weight loss program for your individual needs. Losing weight is a hard project. I suggest that you become familiar with all of the principles of the obesity management pyramid before you even begin the project. I also suggest that you investigate communication tools with your primary care physician. Some doctors use electronic communication like MyChart. Other doctors prefer to use a health coach or a dietitian.